Hello, everybody. Welcome to to
The second episode of the Determined Podcast.
yep. With your hosts, Pasta Guy, Viking Esberg, and Cupcake Paints. And with us today, we have two very special guests, Sophtopus, I think that's how it is pronounced, and Tim, her editor. Both of them are creators of the wonderful fanfic, the Golden Quiche. If you guys want to introduce yourselves, that'd be great. That'd be great.
Hi.
Short and
Yes,
sweet.
yes, you can say more, don't be shy.
Sorry, I was looking for echo and I just found it. Hi, it is us.
Yeah, Sophie, you're the writer? So you
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to say? Ask me anything, and I will do my best.
Well, yeah, so Sophie writes the Golden Quiche, and I'm her editor.
Yep.
Oh, you
Yep.
guys can work together on this, even though my name isn't really shown on the front screen.
Yeah. Yeah. And of course we have a bunch of questions and stuff. We'll be taking it. We have like some questions that we're going to be asking themselves, and we will be taking questions from the audience as always. So make sure you guys send us questions on over here. Okay.
Yep. People are telling knock jokes.
Oh god dang it.
As long as we're not going to punch yet.
Alright, so I guess since we should start, Sophtopus, the first question is for you. What made you want to start writing the Golden Quiche?
Sorry, what made me want to start writing the Golden Quiche?
Yes.
Okay. Wow. That one actually has a story behind it, right? So there was one time I wrote fanfics, and then I stopped. I went and did my first original. Crafting the Sun was the name, and the life happens. And then one day I thought, like, what does the fanfiction scene look like now? The last time I was anywhere near fanfiction was when I was 15, 14, and that is 15 years ago. Didn't really read fanfiction since then. So after I completed Undertale, I went to check things out. The first story I read was a one-shot. I think it's from Feral Phoenix.
Oh
I can't
jeez.
remember the title, but it's a one-shot about Frist. After they come out of the mountain, they kept waiting at the bus stop, and they waited for a few days. Nobody came to pick them up because they're abandoned child. So after I read that, I was like, hey, the fanfic scene actually looks good. I mean, it was a good story. So I went and checked other stuff on Pinterest. And then there was one thing that bothered a lot. All of them were set in real Earth. So you have real Earth countries, you have all the real Earth names, and then you have all the real Earth politics. And then the politics were never really the big focus, even though the writings had Frist to actual ambassadorial jobs. And that really bothered if magic exists, wouldn't magic have its own uh, politics? Wouldn't it have its own cause and effect? And why does it have to be actual Earth? And why not it be in those RPG land that they are clearly inspired by real world things, and but they are not named that way. So why not that? And that's what got me started writing the Golden Quiche.
Interesting. So you were just like, hey, like this world would obviously be different because like monsters and humans like existed alongside one another. So you're like, why don't we just make like a whole like fantasy type world off of that?
Yeah. Okay, people said it's hard to hear me.
Yeah. I boosted. I made it so that you were coming in a bit louder and stuff. Hopefully that will be good enough. By the way, we've broken double digits. We have 10 whole viewers.
Hello.
Fantastic.
I mean
On
that.
where?
I, well, 10 whole viewers like together. Like there's 6 on Twitch and there's 4 on YouTube.
Including ourselves.
Oh jeez. Hey, this is a milestone, dang it. But yeah.
It's a milestone, yeah.
It is still a milestone. Okay. I just saw a cockroach.
Well, I mean, I'm not watching, so that's.
I'm
Alright.
trying to ignore it. Cockroach, shoo, go away.
To add to what Sophie is saying, when I played Undertale, and Sophie was like, "It's a great game. It's very heartfelt. You gotta play it." So I did. I liked it, enjoyed it, I loved it. What really stood out to me were the time travel mechanics of the game, resetting and everything. So when it comes to the Golden Quiche, what Sophie's also talking about, part of the idea is, if time travel is real, what would I do on this landscape? What would I do to the
Yes.
political scene? And I think so. We can explain from there.
I think it's your turn to explain.
So, overall, you have to ask the question: if it's real, like how many people can do it? Are they interfering with each other? And what does this mean for the world? Are we seeing only the best outcome of time travelers trying to do their best? Have multiple calamities been avoided? And if a calamity does remain, was a time traveler unable to stop that? So a large part of GQ's idea is, what if a time traveler can't stop everything? And that's where a large part of the drama comes from.
That despite everything, there is still work to be done.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sounds cool.
Because different
They-
people...
You can do everything right, but still fail.
Yeah, so different people might disagree with you. You might have an idea how to save people. But others might not like that. You may doom one person to save another. So you gotta make hard decisions, and a lot of Golden Quiche runs on that.
So, I think this is a pretty standard question, but Yusuf have told me that you guys met like when you were in the middle of making the Golden Quiche. So, how'd you two exactly meet? Like, was like Tim just like in the comment section of like one of the Golden Quiche or something, or?
No.
That's a long
no.
story.
Well, we got time. We got.
It's in your old story. We first met as teenagers on different forum. It was Diamond Forum. It was
Toby.
run by a guy named Iras.
I think you might have to take over there, Tim, because we
So
seem to
if
have a
you
bit
do a
of
quick
connection
reset on
issues.
your Discord,
Yeah,
Yeah.
then come back and set it again.
yeah, because you're coming
Okay.
in. You're coming in kind
I'm
of.
coming 5 pages.
So to recap, what you were saying is, we met each other like almost 2 decades ago. So we
Whoa.
were both teenagers.
Hmm.
Somewhere between 50 and 80 years or so. And so to answer your question, it's kind of like that, but several fanfictions ago, basically.
Oh. So what made it so that you want to start editing this in particular?
Well, I've always enjoyed her work while she started out. And then I started helping her with her first professional, that was Crafting the Sun. So when GQ came about, I naturally followed suit what I was already doing. But just that while Crafting the Sun was finishing up, I was still in the editing phase of that while she started the Golden Quiche.
Hmm.
So I was a bit behind on doing that, which probably reflects in the earliest chapters.
Yeah.
A lot of rust to polish off, man.
So carry
Yeah,
on.
no,
Start
no.
from start with your own words back then.
You were there too, okay?
I just explained it.
Okay, 15 years ago, or was it 16 now?
Well,
think
time
I was
moves
14.
on. Time
Yeah.
moves on, so it could be anywhere between 15, 16, 17, 18. Who's counting?
I was 13, 14 years old. When I went to this forum in the
15.
Mega Man fandom, it was
Oh.
run by a guy whose name is Ira, and he has a website called Iragi Nation.
Hmm.
Ah,
It's ready, chat.
yeah, I really, it really is a long, long time ago. Iragi Nation, yeah. Over there, I met the legendary walking encyclopedia of the fandom, and it was Tim.
Hey, that's me. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was his fan.
So you were both fans of the other's work, even though
Yeah.
you didn't know it at the beginning. But then,
Yep, that is right. So,
so I'd say it was a match made in heaven, but it wasn't. It was a match made on a forum.
It was
The forum
a
definitely
long
wasn't
time.
heaven.
A long time ago in a forum far, far away.
the forum is dead, you know. That is how
It exploded.
long ago.
Been
that,
dead
one
for a
is,
decade now.
that one is its own epic story in itself, and I'm not sure if we can get it there. Hang on, my dad's awake.
You know how forums are. They eventually implode.
Yes, I think that's usually how song and dance go. There's always a
I think I've gone over half a dozen forums now, so they all imploded.
ticking time bomb.
Apparently I was
Flood
speaking
and
too
become a
loud.
star.
It's supernova.
Yes.
Shining star in the heavens. Turned
Uh,
black
I-
hole.
Maybe I'm gonna be look at what I had say in the chat.
True that.
That is actually quite true.
Hmm.
So I started writing, okay, and I had the AOL name on my account. Tim became a fan of my work, and he contacted me through there. And then since then, we've been in contact with each other every day. Everything in between is his own drama.
It's Rama.
I mean, it is
Yeah.
like a drama show. It is his own anime.
That's life.
It is life.
I think I installed
The-
AM because of you.
This
I think so.
Oof, isn't that something that unfortunately dates?
yeah.
I mean, at least we
It's
have
very
proof
dated.
now that it was a while ago.
Then there was Skype, but also figured out because of Discord.
Sky.
Yeah.
Sky. No,
MSN
that's a name I
Messenger.
haven't heard in a long time.
MSN Messenger.
Oh my god.
Ah, I had that too. We had that too.
You know, we're talking about this stuff, and I bet a bunch of like younger people who are watching this are just like are just hearing this and they're just hearing this coming back coming out of our mouths. Back in my day, we didn't have no fancy Discord.
No, we didn't.
Back in my day, we didn't have no fancy DVD players. We had VHSs.
Oh my
Yes,
god.
indeed. I still remember that. That's lovely.
I actually remembered cassettes.
I do too.
How and moldy.
I'm probably like part of the last.
We still have a collection of them, even though only one of our TVs actually plays them.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I have a.
Yeah.
I,
Hang on. Let me read the Twitch. Oh yeah, I told Nixie this story the other day.
I like how alt here is just like I now have Tim's face being an encyclopedia with the Mega Man face on it as my head canon.
Yes.
Might make it for a good avatar.
I'm also a big Mega Man fan, so
I think you might recognize his name. He's,
I wasn't that big into the community though. That's the thing. All I did was just play a bunch of the games and stuff. I played through X1, X2, X4, X5, X6, and X.
These are not games. These are letters and numbers.
Are games,
No, they are games, and
Yeah,
most of them are pretty damn good. And then there's
Most.
X6, which was hot garbage, but I made myself play that anyway.
Funny you say that because Sophie actually started writing an X6 fanfiction.
yes, that is true. It was because of X6 I am here today.
Yeah, Mega Man X6. Oh my gosh, that like.
Oh, it's a Mega Man game. I thought you were just saying letters and
no,
numbers, and
no.
I'm like, those are not games.
No,
It's the acronym
there's a series of games called the Mega Man X games, and I was listing them out.
I missed the Mega Man part, so I was extremely confused. I'm sorry.
I've also played through like a bunch of the classic ones, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, wait, not 8. Actually, I've never played 8 or 9. But I also played 10. I also played Mega Man and Bass back in the day, which, oh boy, that was fun for 11-year-old me on a keyboard. because I played it off an emulator.
To put it in perspective for people that aren't here, it's like playing Dark Souls.
Yeah, it's like playing Dark Souls with a keyboard. Except, at least with Dark Souls, you're not dealing with frickin' screen crunch.
Wrong.
Yeah. So yeah.
Alright, now back to what you guys were talking about. I'm sorry.
Back on topic.
Yeah.
I heard that we had a very long history.
Discord's going again, Sophie.
Yeah, a very, very long history together. Yeah, I think it's gone again. I think.
Yeah, I just reset that. To translate that, yeah, a long history together. Early 2000s. Well, here I challenge all this.
Curse this Malaysian internet.
It's Discord.
Oh.
Their server's pretty bad.
Yeah, so I could never the first one.
It's primarily because we're dealing with like a international call right now.
Yeah, probably.
Sophie is currently in Malaysia. I am in the Netherlands. So that already covers 2 continents.
And I'm in America, and both me and Cupcake are in America, but vastly different parts of it. And Viking is
Yes.
and
Yes.
Viking is in
Sweden.
Europe is yes.
yeah.
So
This
the
is
sun does
full
not go down
international,
in
and this
This got implode again.
Like I said, the sun does not go down on this Discord. Well, it's quite hefty on the system.
Yeah, it does not.
I think we should move on to the next question.
Yes.
okay. So, going on from what Viking said last week, where he said quite boldly that all frisks in fanfiction and stuff are OCs and stuff. How did you feel like making like your own version of Frisk?
I don't quite understand that question. Could you rephrase?
Okay, how did you feel like writing for Frisk when there's not much to go off of in game?
What was it you went off on with
For the
the Frisk
characterization.
that we were presented in the game? Which part of their rather slim personality did you expand on in your story? Or did you just make Frisk completely like just your own Frisk, so to speak, like a completely different character from what we have seen in the game?
Personally, I thought there are a lot of hints in the game itself of what kind of a person Frisk is. It's mainly
Yeah.
in their act.
Yeah, I feel like I felt that too. That's how I also like constructed bits and pieces of the Frisk that I did for my story.
Yeah, it's just that a lot of Frisk could also be Kara. So it's like, you cannot pick and choose which is which
Yeah.
and make a characterization out of that.
Very true. Very true.
I see Frisk as being the one who would be more mature than Kara.
And I think in
You-
addition to
makes
that, yeah, because of time travel and whatnot, they've lived quite longer than they actually appear to have lived. So the current Frisk and Golden Quiche has gone over Undertale several times, and therefore has a different worldview than at the beginning of the game. Is that right, Sevi?
Yes, and part of it also is kind of like, you know, in story you have the straight man, and the other one commenting on how ludicrous some of the events are. So it's a little bit here and a little bit of there, and then put together into someone who has to take action, because they are put in a position where they have to take action.
And I think also we tend to have Frisk occasionally use very difficult words because they have more life experience than they appear to. So it
Quite
all comes down to
well-read
the
as
current Frisk's personality.
Frisk, how do you have such a good vocabulary? Vocabulary?
This
Well,
one is-
well,
this one
well,
is-
when you've read literally every book in the Underground.
Yes.
And also because it's their perspective, they have to come off as rather exciting, even though in the game they're super silent, they don't say anything.
Yeah.
So you get this effect where they're internally super excited, but externally very stoic. So whether it's their point of view or someone else's point of view, you see a different Frisk.
Yee.
a lot
Yes.
of internal excitement and internal
So while reading Golden Quiche, it's like if you see Frisk emoting something in their own point of view, it's very likely that emotion doesn't come out to other viewers. It's just their internal excitement.
imagine all the emotions, but with their uh, closed eyes and closed mouth. You know that emote.
Hmm.
Everything has that straight face, but internally they're not straight.
To put it in a way where like you're feeling something as the player while playing Undertale, but Frisk as a character still shows the same way. It's kind of like that.
You'll say the music's a bit quiet, so I'm just gonna boost it up a little bit.
Could you rephrase that? It's hard to hear.
Discord is breaking apart on pasta.
Technical difficulties
Technical difficulties.
again.
Always.
Okay.
Also, guys, if it's too quiet, you can always, turn up your own volume. You don't have to rely on us.
I mean, it
It's
does
mostly-
make
it
sense.
does
I
play
can
somewhat even.
boost it. I can boost it up a little bit. I can boost it up a little bit more, if need be.
As far as I'm experiencing everybody talking, I think the volume is fine. It's just the
Mhm.
breaking apart sometimes is the issue.
Yeah.
It is.
And
All right. Well. Anyways.
If I might add a question, while it seems to be piddling about with the settings and all that,
All right.
since the Golden Quiche has quite a lot of characters, both from the game and original characters, which parts do you, well, quote unquote, enjoy most writing? Would it be character interactions between characters from the game, character interaction between a character from the game and a character and an OC, or character interactions between OCs? Which one do you try and focus most towards? Is it to further the original story and the characters there, or is it to try and expand or go another way? Either of you can answer it. It's fine.
who answers first? I don't
You
want to
first, no,
overlap.
you're the writer.
Okay. Less about the character interactions, more about the events. So when we decide a point of view, the first thing we think is like, okay, which point of view can cover the points we need to cover? And also, which point of view we haven't explored in a while?
Or which point of view is most interesting?
Yes, correct. So it's not much interaction between canon, canon, COT, all that kind of things. It's what moves the scene.
Yeah, what moves the scene is the most important part.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but is the scene, again, how are the scenes usually structured, and the path that they follow? Is it to further the game's story, or is it to further a more story that's only hinted at?
Well,
I'm just getting you to explain the story
yeah.
and tell about it. That's why I'm asking.
I think the game story as it is kind of done and over. Aside from some left hanging threads like Guster and Flowey.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why the first arc basically tries to cover Flowey's portion and Guster at the same time.
And Chana.
Yeah, Kara too, yeah. So after that, the whole world has built upon itself, and we have a very defined storyline that we're heading for. We're aiming for a goal, and we're trying to reach there, and it's just taking a while. But that's informing all the story decisions. And from there, it's within every chapter we aim for a certain structure, so that things actually happen, people develop, the plot moves forward, and ends in an exciting note, and leaves people wanting to read more. That's the goal, essentially.
Let's put the world and the underground.
Okay.
As for which specific character that is the most fun, probably Sans. I have to think
Oh, yeah,
4D chess every time when I write his point of view.
Even though Sans is quite a controversial character in JQ.
He's quite
It's still-
different from in-game.
Yes and no.
Well,
The-
another angle to him.
It depends on like
developing,
your
luckily.
how you see Sans in Undertale.
Pardon, Pasta, could you repeat that question? You got cut out in the beginning.
It depends on how you see Sans in Undertale. Is really if you're going to find someone's interpretation of Sans as different or not.
There's a lot of interpretation involved, yeah. Usually, since I'm the analysis, the canon analysis guy, we've established basically that most of Undertale happened as is. As you see it is how it is. And we're trying to adhere to all the details that are in the game. However, at the same time, Sophie, as writer here, has a lot of original ideas. But a big balancing game between those ideas and what was, and trying to keep the game intact.
Is that something that you feel is your, I'm not gonna say responsibility nor duty, but you know, that is what you do as an editor more, is do you try and wrestle back into Undertale? Have you done
Yeah.
that before, that it becomes a bit too much its original story, we need to reel back and come back a bit more?
That's definitely the case. I'm trying always to keep consistency between the magic systems, between Undertale itself, and the Golden Quiche.
Mhm.
As you come to an idea, we always have discussions on what works, what doesn't work, and why. And a lot of the informed movesets for Suns with Pirates, for example, are things that are not in Undertale, but we put it in a way where they could be, just are not as pronounced, or not presented, or not used. Like the eye powers and whatnot, to see into the future and the past.
Right, yes.
What the heck is going on in the YouTube chat?
I don't know. Asper said Sans is a doo-doo butthead and a cotton-headed nitty muggin's head, and also apparently, Al here like screwed up, and like thought you were someone completely different, Cupcake, because
That's okay.
because there's someone on the server that me and Soph first met up on that also has like a baked good type of name to them, so
No, I can be the only one. It's not allowed.
I've named Cupcake and no one else can have a cake or any other type of name that relates to cake named to it.
I'm kidding. Please don't come after me.
You're safe.
Oh, good.
Yay. Alright.
So yeah, I think I do a lot of back and forth wrestling to get a lot of original ideas in line with established fact, whether that's established fact from the game or Golden Key itself. Which part of the reason why we established a whole compendium on the magic system.
Mostly,
Yeah,
for
so-
your,
confused.
mostly for your sake.
Yeah, well,
Al-
and the readers too.
also bonus that others can read that too.
Yes, correct. Because about like chapter 40 or so, we find that it's very difficult for us to find references of what was said and when it was first said. And that's why the Magus Compendium book was born.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah,
are
and we
things-
try to adhere to that.
Yes. So this
Oh,
is a
great!
thing
The
that-
cockroach is on my screen now.
that
Oh.
is both, you know, it's constantly added to. I'm assuming, yes. Yeah.
And sometimes, yeah, the companion gets updated because
Yes.
it's like outdated or wrong.
So instead of trying to add too much stuff, you more, you know, you have a small small basis that you're just trying to expand upon rather than just bringing in new stuff and letting that play around with the old established stuff. It's more adding spices to an old dish rather than bringing in other dishes to
A lot-
sell as well.
A lot of the ideas, especially in the current arcs that we're coming up with, were made quite recently. It's just we're basically thinking really hard, analyzing what we've done and where we want to go to come up with new ideas, and using that to springboard a new scene. It's like, what does the plot demand, and we go there.
Yes, of course, in service to the plot.
Yes, that makes
And sometimes in service to the characters.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Because you can have scenes that don't necessarily progress the
hang on.
plot, but you can also have scenes that like help progress the characters.
You'll have to repeat that. You cut out.
Yes.
Microphone, why are you doing this to me?
It's the
It's
internet.
just Discord.
Internet is the internet.
Okay. What?
No, his microphone's been messing up too.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's why. Yeah, it's been messing up the past couple days, so that's why I kind of assume that it's the mic. But anyways, yeah, basically you can have scenes in a story that don't necessarily advance the plot, but do good character stuff if you want to, as long as you do it right.
I mean, yes, but you advance the character so that they can then further the plot later, so it's still furthering the plot.
Yeah,
Typically,
but
they're all advancing in unison. They're all
Yes.
together.
Yes.
Just
And
like
also
something
the
that would
people-
look kind of like filler at some point will actually come back around to actually be helping out the characters later and stuff. But anyways,
I
back.
think in general, Golden Quiche has no real filler. You can ask Toph about that.
Yeah, no filler. We try to not have no filler. I can't afford to have filler. I mean, it's 700,000 words.
Everything is a Jacob's gun in Golden Quiche.
I
Everything.
can't afford any filler.
Oh wait,
If we go back to the Magus Combat for just a second, I have a question about: are things more complicated now at the end of that compendium rather than in the beginning, or has there been maybe the reverse, that things were complicated first, but then you found out, oh, maybe we should have it a bit more simple, and then it has. Which way has it evolved, or has it stayed the same throughout the story? How has the story changed? Not really in regards to the compendium, but you know, with the usage of it.
So,
I would say it's more advanced because integrating the base theories and putting them in the application. It's like you study physics and you study velocity, and velocity is pretty simple formula. But then you apply velocity for the max speed of the car.
I'll have to interrupt you there because we don't hear anything of what you're saying.
yeah.
I'm sure the explanation is I'm sure the
This is good, so
explanation is
terrible.
very good,
This-
but
Don't, it's not your fault. Don't worry.
Yeah,
it's
this
Discord.
this Discord call has been a pretty big mess just because it's like
Just
Oh.
yeah.
I just imagine like Discord like having to hold all the wires together, and it's like wires together from like each of us, and it's like straining to hold us together, just like trying to keep this call together, but sacrificing like audio quality because of it.
It's all tangled up in wires and stuff.
Sophie, I'll explain a bit while you reset, okay?
I reset again.
Yeah.
Okay. You're right.
Yeah, Golden Quiche has over the latest chapters, literally some 100 chapters, gotten insanely complicated. And it's not just the magic system, it's definitely part of it, because sometimes we go through entire discussions on how the magic system works to figure things out, but also the political situation of the world.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of thinking involved in every scene. And that's why the release dates between chapters have been getting longer.
Because
there's
there's
also-
more to be checked, more to be edited.
Yeah, this reflects in the editing process as well.
Yes.
And sometimes whole scenes get rewritten because I'm outright telling Sophie this doesn't make sense.
I'm feeling that pain right now.
Oh.
But every time we read a chapter, it's definitely been extensively edited to make sense in the overall world.
Yes, and that is something you can do because you are two persons working on this project.
Yeah, I can see where her ideas are missing something. Either it's logic or just not quite having that extra thing, and vice versa. She can see where I'm wrong if I make an analysis. So we help
Yeah,
each other with that.
Yeah, so more eyes. More eyes.
Okay. Should I explain again?
Yeah,
what
go
the-
ahead.
Yes,
Oh,
try and
okay.
explain again.
I would say that the basics did not change, but the application does. For example, you have a physics equation for velocity. If I remember right, it is actually quite simple. Okay, the formula itself is simple, but then you got to apply that formula to all sorts of situations that may not be as straightforward. What's the max velocity of a car? How much velocity then can this item take before it breaks? How much velocity is that crash dummy experience has either way, crash dummy, put it to test and you calculate what was the max velocity for that result. So it is that one simple formula used in all sorts of situations, and that is the complicated part.
Yes, okay. That's a good explanation, I feel. Thank you.
And we
Yeah,
do
no.
keep putting ourselves in more complicated situations as we're going forward.
Even more.
Especially the last few chapters were quite insane.
It's a kaiju battle.
We went overboard there. It was fun.
What is going on in the chat?
Oh no, someone made an alt account just for knock knock jokes. Anyways, Aldir asked for me to present myself so that they can be unbamboozled as to my identity. So, hello, I am Cupcake Paints. I have not done anything significant in the fandom as of yet. I just have my DeviantArt and my recent Tumblr where I post mostly fan art and such. I've made one small Undertale short on AO3 and on DeviantArt. And I'm in a few Undertale comic and story-based Discords. So there you go.
Yeah, the most she's the biggest thing
Remember
she's,
the name.
the biggest thing she's
Cupcake Paints.
the biggest
Yes.
thing she's done for this community is kind of this podcast, guys. So
Yeah. But I plan on trying to make a comic in the future, so watch out for that.
Good luck.
that'd be
Somebody asked me whether or not I've eaten a quiche before. Yes, I have.
Was it golden?
it's
Golden
yellow.
brown, I imagine.
yeah. I was about to say I don't think
Good
she's
enough.
I don't think she's they've literally eaten a quiche made of gold.
That would
Nah,
hurt your
nah.
teeth.
Eh,
Gold leaf.
I wouldn't,
Gold
yeah.
leaf is edible. Links to what?
For Cupcake, for her stuff.
Ah, okay, I see. Someone's requesting for links.
I'll try to get on that in a moment.
Oh, maybe
This
I do
person
like
is basically
your
saying
TikTok.
like advertise yourself.
Yes, advertise yourself.
If you guys want to check out some other Undertale fanfics, you can catch me over on AO3 at Pasta Guy, where I'll be. No, I'm not gonna do that. Anyways, yeah. Can we go on to the next question, or?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Go
All right.
ahead, go ahead, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Here's something that relates to the bigger Undertale community and stuff. What other Undertale fanfics / projects have you enjoyed? Like if you were to recommend something, some other Undertale fan content, what stuff would you like recommend to people that you've personally enjoyed?
Me, right?
Yeah. Also Tim, if he wants to join in on this.
I start first. Inverted Fate. Monster Friends by Hat Bimo. Inverted Fate is from Dot, by the way. And Fallen Flowers by Tarabo. My top 3 picks are that.
Alright, what about you, Tim? Do you have anything to add on to that?
I haven't really read anything from the fan community. I did have to kind of look into what was really going on with the whole 1x1 thing, because it's such a popular work, and how it tackled certain things, just to inform myself. But I haven't fully read it. Other than that, I will say that since Sophie did make the crossover with Abbott's Wake, that was quite a fun time editing that. But yes, to actually reading things, I don't have the time to go through all that.
I actually don't really have the time either.
Hey, it's okay. I'm pretty dang far behind on a bunch of other Undertale fanfics myself, and I'm not like a adult or anything like that with a job or stuff like that. I mean, I'm on literal summer vacation right now.
I wish I was. I still gotta keep going.
Oof.
The joys of being homeschooled. Yay.
Oh, someone asked for self-advertising. Okay, I shall go and advertise. My original story and my fanfiction is right here.
Alright, if we're just like chilling out like the one commenter wants, I'll just link my AO3 and...
Also, I will say, regarding Golden Quiche, what people shouldn't forget and ignore is that aside from the Magus Compendium, we also have 2 side works. Those are the Abbott's Wake crossover and the Chronographer Records, which is actually part of Golden Quiche, just stories we couldn't tell because of the plot constraints. They're usually shorter, more condensed stories, but they do all occur within the Golden Quiche world.
So if someone wanted to like dip their fingers into the story without going full hog and delving into the massive story, perhaps they could.
Yeah. They're pretty neat. They typically right now they typically cover things like the fate of each of the children that fall into the underground. Some side characters, Grilby or Gerson, have gotten attention, as well as some of the OCs.
I also do that with my thing. Just have a whole short story collection for my AU. Basically, just stories I couldn't tell because of like they're not super plot important, or they're just little nuggets of short stories that I just wanted to write and everything. One of them I actually wrote was a collab between me and a pretty popular artist on the Undertale amino, which is amino and stuff. Where basically like they did like the cover art for it, and I wrote the story for it.
Yeah. Things like that. I do recall, Sophie, that you had submissions opened for the Chronogram records for request. Or
Yeah.
Still open?
It's still open, but my last request was like 2 years ago.
Have you fulfilled them all?
Yeah, we fulfilled them all.
Okay, I guess it's an invitation. It doesn't per se like you can't guide the plot too much, but if you have a subject you want to discover, unraveled or basically covered, people can put a request in.
I need to be right back for a little while. Toilet.
Okay.
That's fine.
So yeah, I guess it's an open invitation. If anyone has a request, make it.
Yay.
We'll see if it's possible or not. So yeah, next question, I guess. Sorry.
Alright.
Or we wait.
This is one specifically for you, Tim, actually. What's it like editing Soft's work? Like, are there certain, like, problems and stuff that come with it, or is it just, were there certain times, like, you had to tell them, like, no, you can't do something in a story because it wouldn't, like, make sense, that type of stuff?
Well, I was saying the other day in the Discord, it's basically a war against punctuation in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Because Sophie's Malaysians, yes, occasional oddities in our writing style that I have to weed out. From punctuation to grammar, and she's usually really good with what she does, and the characterization is definitely her strong point. But sometimes it ends up in little fragments or weird things that just seem a little odd for a non-Malaysian speaker of the English language. So that's things I have to really be careful for. And other times we're just having gigantic hour-long discussions to figure things out.
As we're in the YouTube chat, Tim, how many commas have you murdered?
Millions.
Speaking of editing, okay, so...
But there's more to it. Like, are words being repeated? Are concepts being repeated? Is the scene in the correct order? Like, is the flow logical? If you start A to B, or from A to Z, are we actually going to the proper steps? Or are two things the same in the beginning and end? And why don't we merge them? So what you see as a final product can be completely upturned compared to how it starts.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
We're talking about...
Yes, the editing process. You guys only see the end result, man.
Yeah, that certain scenes really get turned upside down. Like things that are at the end from once in the beginning, or vice versa. Two things become one, that sort of thing.
I mean, I've also had some...
Sorry, you first.
Alright. I've also had some interesting editing stuff. I don't have an editor, like, editor really, so it's all based on myself, and sometimes that can lead to some problems. Like, okay, so last night, I was like reading out my latest chapter to Cupcake, and there was literally a point where I just where I started a sentence and I just didn't finish it, and and it wasn't like, oh, it was like near the end of the chapter. I just wanted to get it done or anything. No, it was like just near the beginning of the chapter, and for some reason I had just left the sentence just unfinished, and I was just like, why did I do that? Also, there was just like some words missing, and like for some reason there was some comma stuff that Grammarly didn't pick up, which Grammarly is like the only real editing tool I have a lot of the time. So yeah, along with the suggestions that Google Docs makes to my stuff. So yeah, really should get an editor, honestly.
Yeah, things like that definitely crop up. Grammarly helps, of course, but sometimes it comes up with completely insane
Wrong stuff.
proposals that are like, no, don't do this. So it's like I said, it's repeat words, it's comma punctuation and everything. It's also how many times speak allocation is used, or how are the paragraphs laid out. Like, is each sentence a different structure? Does Sophie start a sentence differently? And also, how dramatically is the pacing? Like, where do we put breaks? Do we go faster? Do we go slower? Is there too much detail? Too little detail? All of that is being considered.
Sequence of events, flow of the fight. What are the logical actions? What are the logical actions the enemy would make? Oh, wow, 4D chess.
And that's why things get more complicated as we're going along.
The 4D chess.
4D chess.
Some of the chapters definitely are that.
Oh,
Especially once we start adding living victories into the mix. And the ability to
When-
mark.
yeah, when time travel becomes a battle. Really 4D chess.
Yeah, because I was talking about how time travel interferes with the plot. Like,
Yeah.
people do tricks to overcome time travelers. Like, how do you deal with someone who can travel back in time and undo things or change things?
It's just like you guys like have more. Sounds like you guys have more time-based abilities than freaking later JoJo's later JoJo's manga and stuff. It's like with how much time manipulation goes on in your story. Yeah.
Yeah, the timeline chart's absolutely out there when you look at it.
Bonkers.
Your timeline isn't your timeline for the story isn't like a timeline anymore. It's like a big bowl of wibbly wobbly timey wimey stuff.
At some point, yeah.
Only certain points though. Eventually they have to continue in a straight line.
Yeah. Except that we suddenly added a hypothetical timeline into there, so.
Nick saying something that's accurate. For time traveling to happen, they have to be awake. Cannot do it while they sleep.
Connection issues again.
You're saying that a time traveler needs to be awake and not asleep in order to do a thing? And people need sleep.
The greatest weakness is when they sleep.
Yeah, so do a quick reset again.
Can I request a change of server?
Can you do that?
He can change the server.
Different region is what he's requesting.
Yes, different region.
Oh yeah, I could do that. Server settings. Okay, so server region. What
What's it set to?
would be the best compromise for us? I mean, you're in Malaysia. You're in Malaysia. You're in Sweden. You're in Idaho. I'm in Georgia, the state, not the country, and you're. I mean, I kind of feel like I have to reiterate that, considering like how many different countries we're dealing with. So yeah, it's at U.S. Central right now, Hey.
Maybe west.
Try maybe I don't know.
Let's try
Oh.
Let's try U.S. West. Safe. All right.
We actually put a server in Japan.
Ooh, wait, what?
Testing. 2, 3.
I can reach Japan easier than she can reach Europe. So
Yes.
Japan.
If in doubt, use Japan. But looks like we are finally green. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Our
put it
line.
instead of putting it U.S. Central, I put it in U.S. West. We really should have figured that out before we started streaming.
we didn't know.
We didn't know. We didn't know which one was the better server, and now it's fixed. Where was I?
So you were saying?
Nick was right. That Frisk, Bezel Time, anyone who can time travel must be awake to do so. They cannot do it while they're sleeping, and that is quite a major point in one of the early chapters.
Or while they're on the toilet.
Toilet. Oh, that toilet scene.
The main time travel of the story has bowel issues, which complicates some of the arcs.
It started as a thought that what if you were sick and you can't undo your sickness? You have to work with it, no?
Yeah, I think we did the same thing with Purple Child, Chronograph Record.
We made that a more fatal spin instead of an annoyance.
Or if you are ill and your last save point is after the point you've fallen ill, what can you do? Pretty much nothing.
There is still a sense of mortality over the head.
And in addition to that, once we read about the original Undertale prototype, well, the Kickstarter, making something like an aura of determination coming from Frist, that is interfering monsters and whatnot, we went with the idea of a person's will affecting another person's will. And so time travelers living victories could plant their will as marks onto the enemy and therefore disable their abilities. And that's where a lot of the 4D just comes in.
Imposement of will. Like say if you deny someone from doing something that they used to do, what you gonna do?
You can deny someone from seeing or acting. Stuff like that.
Yeah, sounds interesting.
Access denied.
Yeah, literally, access denied.
And the person with the most determination will win that fight.
So,
And also, of course, the most smart person.
Soph, you bringing up sickness earlier reminds me of something. So apparently, you have an interesting story when you first played Undertale. That you were really under the weather during that.
Yes. Wow, I was completely out of it. I had a wiki in the background because I couldn't understand half of the mechanics. I was really not okay. And when I reached Snowdin, I was really delirious, man. Meeting Papyrus first and all that kind of thing. I was laughing to myself and calling him the sweetest dumb cake.
It was a fever dream.
Soft Undertale was a fever dream. None of it was real.
We're not even real.
That why explains why you don't understand the mechanics. Okay. I get that.
Like, I've had. I could have sworn I had a similar gaming. I could have sworn I had a similar gaming experience.
I had a similar gaming experience actually with Undertale. It was the first time that I attempted to do a genocide run, and I never finished it because I didn't do it properly. but even then I probably wouldn't have finished it. But like I can only remember bits and pieces because I think that it was traumatic for me, and so I blocked it from my mind. So it
Wow.
feels like I was going through a fever dream when I did that, and I was just like, oh yeah, I did that. That was a thing I did. I forgot about that.
Okay,
Also, I
so
think Frist did.
yeah, all right. Well, I remember the thing that was going on that I was thinking about. Okay, so the first time I played Kingdom Hearts 2, which is probably one of my favorite games of all time and stuff. The first time I played it, I was I was do- I was getting over like a cold and stuff, and and some of the cutscenes in that game are pretty freaking long. So I'd start like dozing off right in the middle of cutscenes, and my brother would have to wake me up, who was watching me play, and he was just like, they're just like, Aaron, what? You can play now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah, Viking seems to have muted themselves. Viking, what's going on?
I have a really stuffed nose.
Oh,
That's why.
Ah, I see.
That's okay.
oof.
Speaking of Papyrus, I guess since
Uh,
you guys read up to a certain point, but Papyrus has a huge role play in the Golden Quiche.
Yes.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah.
Mega roll.
And this was not something originally decided, but we kind of just went with it
Yeah.
Yeah.
because he's awesome. Eh.
You know, I actually first heard about.
the cinnamon roll. I want to hug him.
Yes.
Hug him.
For-
I was like, what did Pasta guy say?
I was the first time I actually heard about the Golden Quiche. It was actually in reference to Papyrus in the story because I was in this voice chat on this Undertale server for the comic Deeper Down, which is a pretty dang good webcomic that you should check out. It's made by Zaragi.
Saragi.
Yeah, and someone was like, Zaragi, I know you really like Papyrus and stuff. You should really read the Golden Quiche because he's like a major player in that, and he's pretty freaking awesome and stuff. The interactions that he has with the characters and everything. That was the first time I ever heard of the Golden Quiche outside of just like scrolling past it every time I was looking for a new fic to read.
I think in overall in Golden Quiche, Frisk is, while they're the main character, isn't per se the hero of the story. They've been a villain and they're the hero as well, but they deal with character possession and whatnot, and just the whole political landscape. They are our vessel to see the world, but I believe personally that Pyrus is the true hero of Golden Quiche.
In
A
terms
shining
of
beacon of
heart,
hope.
yeah, in terms of heart, he is the one.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, he has his whole arc basically.
I
The
think
hero's
like,
journey.
yeah, the very big hero's journey. I think, let's say if anyone asks me, what is your favorite character? It would be Papyrus.
Yes.
Mainly because he is the kind of guy that in the most cynical story try to destroy him. And how to say, his optimism is seen as naive, seen as
Naive.
something that is fated to die, you know. And you can put in all your cynicism that good people die young and all that kind of thing, etc, and say, if only he experienced this life experience, he would become sour like the rest of us. And then he's not. You see it in the genocide run. how much he's willing to be open to this very troubled killing machine. Even at the worst point, he still stands by his standards.
Yeah, I think
And-
that's where the title comes in as well. Do I think so? The title.
Yeah, he's the one who started the title.
Is that? Oh, how would you describe a golden quiche, Zoe, as a term?
He said it was something that is valuable, but it's also very heavy. Gold is very valuable, but it's one of the heaviest common metals that you will find. There are a lot of expressions talking about the weight of gold. For its mass, it is darn heavy. And that is like the weight of responsibilities. You're precious, but you also have responsibilities.
And I think, well, in terms of the game, Frisk here represents that golden quiche in that there's the abandoned quiche you find in the game, but even if it starts out abandoned, it can become golden. And characters like Pyrus and Frisk influence others to be better, and that's a large theme of the story.
Alright.
Yep.
Okay.
Especially with sons.
Yeah. So, okay, another question for you, Soph. If there was a piece of advice you could have given to your younger self when you started writing the Golden Quiche, what would it be?
What would it be?
Not make it shorter.
No, not make
No.
it shorter. Stop beating
Don't
myself
be
up.
work shy now.
Well, okay, stop beating myself up for not being able to release on time.
I feel you there.
Where was it? I had a lot of angst for not being able to release weekly anymore or more often. And also, don't sign up for Amazon.
Mhm. That's a story in
But,
itself.
Yeah, if you're a beginning writer, please don't get on Amazon Kindle.
Yeah.
To somehow make it big, yeah, the payout is a problem. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, my mom, like, she heard about how I like to write and stuff, and she we talked about like, oh, like Amazon keeps like sending me emails about like, hey, they need writers and stuff, and I'm just like, no, thank you. and she'd just be like, why not? I'm pretty sure they wouldn't be interested in what I'm writing. And also, I don't want to work with work at a big soulless corporation like that.
Yeah, the problem with Amazon for publishing, self-publishing, you're sure you can self-publish there, but you have like a minimum amount of money you need to earn before they pay you out.
Yes.
And this money is divided per currency, so you gotta like earn like 100 or something.
100
so if you reach
USD
90,
net.
yeah, if you reach 99 USD, you don't get payout.
Mm.
If you have 99 USD, 99 euros, and 99 Malaysian ringgit, no payout.
Yes.
So it's rather tricky to get your money from there if it's divided like that over the world. That's the issue we ran into.
Very terrible.
Oof.
So you have sales, but yeah, you're not getting money until it reaches a certain threshold.
I was not paid for 4 years.
Holy shit.
And because of how the search engines work, it's quite difficult to get noticed on those markets.
Yeah. Like
Unless, of course, you go out of your way to make the connections yourself, but that's very tricky.
Yeah, I try to browse like the Amazon the Amazon stuff that people publish and stuff, and it's just like It's just like there's no like real way to find exactly what you're looking for unless you really go out of your way for it because of like the way it's set up and stuff.
To give you an example, Crafting the Sun, what was still on Amazon, you could type in the title, letter for letter, word for word, and not get it as first hit.
Wow.
That is very true.
Yeah, another reason why Amazon isn't
it's a
as
very unique
perfect
title.
as a lot of people think it is.
Okay, let's see the questions in YouTube. Did you ever write something without thinking through, but now you have to stick through it because it's part of your story?
Isn't that yes?
Well, even if I say yes, I can't remember what because 90% of the time we think so hard.
Alright.
But I think a lot of things like the seer's eye and whatnot are like ideas you put in the release for the story that we had to reconcile really hard after the fact. Like how things actually work and why they work.
Well, I had thought, I did think, but apparently it was not enough. Question, how?
The whole magic system. Just the whole magic system has a lot of like, things like this that some of us still don't fully understand. Like all the catalysts for the gram use, for example. It's very complex.
What is that a yes or a no? I personally feel no because I had to do a lot of thinking. But that doesn't mean I had really thought things through. I mean, Tim is the one who will find out whatever inconsistencies are there.
Well, I think recently we had the point where overburn was not completely thought out in the initial phases. And we kinda had to backpedal some explanations in, but...
No, don't say backpedal. It's not backpedal. It is
Okay,
there.
sure, we tried to appease everything, but there's a certain parts feel, from our perspective, like... we didn't fully think this through.
Well, you feel like you didn't fully think this through, but I feel like it was thought through enough. It was there, I already had it in mind. But it was not presented to you. It was just
Well, that happens too, yeah. But for the most part, it's like either we disagree on how things are, or certain things just lead to a contradiction somewhere down the road that we didn't foresee.
Okay. Next question. How much do you enjoy writing GQ? Probably to the point where I feel kind of guilty because I'm not earning money from this. I really like it. And then at the same time, it's like, I should be working on my profession now. I should be going out making a name for myself. I'm not getting any younger, but I like it so much. I want to see it finish. And if I know myself that I do multiple projects, I just cannot do that. If I could do that, then Mega Man fanfiction I have would have been progressing. But it's
Yeah,
not.
that's also there. Well, that's also on there, yeah.
Sad.
That's pretty good.
I really want to continue that. I had a feeling it's gonna be something like
I say link it to Pasta Guy.
What?
Pasta Guy. Give me a moment. I'm gonna link it. Pasta Guy.
Alright. Just don't feel too bad about the Mega Man fanfiction soft. At least you'll.
Sorry. Technical issues.
Yeah, so I think I'm up to date with that net.
You are. No,
Okay.
I'm the one who hasn't right. So I'll just put it in the YouTube for Pasta Guy. Did you foresee GQ becoming this long and complicated day one? No.
No one does. I thought, you know, little dumb me. I thought I could finish my AU in about 6 odd months when it took like a year and a half.
I know that.
I think I think this is one of those parts where I'm like, everything in GQ is a Chekhov's gun. Like an element, if you have a gun on the wall, it has to be fired somewhere in the plot.
Mm.
So it's somewhere, sometime in the plot, Sophie writes, there is a gigantic world-ending calamity somewhere. And now we gotta deal with it. We're still dealing with it.
We are still dealing with it.
Mm.
Okay, originally I was expecting GQ to be 70k words and finished in 1 year.
Well, that did
Where's the
obviously
70
pan
word
out.
point?
Crimson Hall.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, we were already past 70k during the Crimson Hall.
Mm.
I
That's
do
another
think
point.
that's a big major climax in the story, yeah.
I mean, you guys, like, I talked about spoilers, like, before we started and stuff, like, talking about how you guys didn't really need to hold back on spoilers and stuff. And I'm just like, I hear stuff like Crimson Hall and stuff, and I'm just like, that's gonna be interesting when I eventually get up to that.
The Crimson Hall, yeah. Or more accurately, the trial of the Crimson Hall.
Mm.
Yes. There is a system, because time travel is known, to test every time traveler who wants to take the job, to see whether or not you're suitable to take the job or not.
Whether you're corrupt or not.
Yes.
So it's a trial of the heart. Of one's
How many
morality.
years- 5 years ago. Someone asked, how many years ago? That was 5 years ago. Yes. And 5 years later, it's still not done.
Mm. When do you think it will be finished?
I'm not even going to say when it will be finished. I give up. I give up trying to.
I feel like we're constantly right before the final battle. That's how it's been feeling for a while now.
It's like
Ju-
the
just-
end is so close, but there's so many things to settle.
Just know soft that no matter what, your Golden Quiche it will most likely end before Mega Man Legends 3 comes out.
Oh, I feel that one. I feel that one. Probably very true. But only someone in the Mega community will know that.
Oh, that one.
The one that hurts most for me is how there isn't a Mega Man X9 because that series, Mega Man X is probably my favorite one out of the bunch, and
That might still happen. Soon. What do you think?
yeah, but still, I'm just like, they left that on a cliffhanger too. It's like, oh, Axel's like, it might be like infected with like the thing that Lumine and stuff was dealing with, and
Just for the record, that was 60 years ago.
yeah, and also like the L-Force stuff still needs to happen, so the Mega Man Zero games happen and stuff. We also need to figure out like what the heck happened to Axel in between between the X series and Zero, because like Axel's nowhere to be found in the Zero series. Not even as a weird ghost like X is for a bit.
I do think Yuki will finish before those things are concluded.
Please, I want it.
I think you have a good chance of getting there.
Viking says that the stuff knows ain't doing me any favors at all. I might just call it for me.
Rest well.
Yeah, rest well, Viking.
Yeah.
Rest.
No,
Viking.
it's more that I can't really speak. That's the thing. It's really, really slow. Horrible. So much pollen right now.
Dude, I
Yes.
know what you're dealing with.
Yes.
I'd hand you some Flonase if I could, but teleportation technology hasn't been invented yet.
No, not yet, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Dang it.
But yes, you
Curses foiled again.
It was good answers to the questions I had.
Hmm.
So yes, carry on you.
Go. Yes. Go rest.
And he's
And
resting.
then there were just 4.
Yes.
I can actually hear his blockness, and it is very bad.
Mm-hmm.
Poor guy.
Well, take care. Get well.
Get well soon, Viking. Alright. Well, we still got a couple more of just the questions we have set out, and I'm sure the chat has I'm sure the chat probably will have a couple more. Have you ever had this is for the two of you. Have you ever had any awkward interactions because awkward interactions / awkward moments because you write fan fiction and say one of your normal people one of the people you know who
The normies.
yeah, the normies that don't write or read fan fiction. Like, have you ever had any awkward moments where you had to tell them I write some stuff on the internet sometimes. So yeah, have you ever had any awkward interactions because you write fan fiction / edit fan fiction?
No.
Hmm. Does anyone IRL actually know you write fan fiction?
Yes, it's my cousin.
Hmm.
I haven't
Oh yeah,
seen
you
him
have
for a
that
long time now.
cousin that was another fan. The one at the wedding,
Yes.
right?
Yes, the one at the wedding.
Hmm.
There were 2, and then there was 1, and then now I don't see him anymore. It's a shame. We
You have
stopped
a lot of
talking
cousins.
again because of that.
Oof.
Oh, I have 28 cousins.
Whoa.
Holy flip. What about you, Tim?
I tend to be very closed off with things like hobbies and whatnot outside of the internet.
Yeah.
Like, I don't talk too much unless I know someone like into gaming or whatnot. I would not talk about that, but
I've had some interesting.
not random. No.
I've had some interesting interactions because of the type of fan fiction I write and stuff. Sometimes I'll have to sometimes I go off to write fan fiction, and my parents will just be like, "Hey, where you going, Aaron? You just got here," and I was just like. And I'm just I'm just going up to my room, and then they just ask to do what, and then I just have to come up with something because I don't want to just admit that I'm just gonna go stare at a Word document for 2 hours and try to see if any words come out of my head.
Pasta, what are you gonna do up there in your room all day?
You're not playing those violent video games, are you? Actually, no. My parents are fine with me playing video games and stuff. I mean, they bought pretty much all my video game systems and stuff for me. So I keep saying and stuff. I really need to stop that. That's kind of a bad habit.
Whenever I want to write something or, something like that, or draw something, then Mom's like, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "My room." She's like, "What are you gonna do?" I'm like, "I'm gonna go write some stuff." She's like, "Okay." Or I'm like, "I'm gonna go draw some stuff." She's like, "Okay."
I treat it as my job.
Yeah, person was shy with that stuff, but that's me.
Okay, someone asked a question. What are your thoughts about a big crossover between plenty of stories for the Undertale's 5th anniversary?
Interesting.
Have fun.
At all.
I can't.
Well, it's way crossed over with Golden Quiche already.
Yeah.
That was a thing.
It was the fun thing. It all started because of Iron Waffle.
Vampires isekai.
God,
Iron Isekai.
God dang it! Just someone just like technically the disappearance of first streamer is an isekai, and technically yes, but this is supposed to be about Soph. Damn it, Soph and Tim. Dang it! Don't stop bringing up my fan fiction. This isn't a determined podcast interviewing me. Because technically I'd be interviewing myself then.
Pasta, what are your thoughts on this? Well, I don't know Pasta, but my thoughts.
Well, you could make it a final episode.
Yeah, but to also like, what are your thoughts about a big crossover between play of stories for Undertale's 5th anniversary? I don't know. Like, I don't think like any of us could like coordinate that.
I was gonna say it would be a logistical nightmare.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
So many like cannons just smacking into each other. Like, no, this is my head canon for that character. No, this is my head canon for this character, and just.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yes.
No clue how I avoided that during the Abbott's Wake one.
yeah, you guys did have a crossover with Evan's Wake. Another fanfic I really need to read because I know I'd enjoy it.
Well, we have one like little clash where it was like the way time travel works in GQ is very different than the way time travel works in Abbott's Wake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is like, we're gonna have to hand wave this one.
It's something magic space-time continuum.
Wibbly wobbly timey wimey.
Reset
Yeah.
button stuff.
We're basically disagreeing on the fabric of the universe at that point. It's like, okay, that's not.
Yeah.
Let me just knit this fabric of the universe real quick.
Yeah.
Because a lot of that is in GQ. You have a thing called the Void,
Mm.
which is like the personal world for living victories and the world outside of time. So it's like, yeah, if you apply that to mess up time getting isekai into the Abbott's Wake world and then time traveling happening in GQ, it's like, this gets a little complicated.
Yeah.
I think we went with it with just like an error, nothing works temporarily.
Yeah, it
Really
helped.
bad. Yep. Okay, what was it? Oh, as Tim said earlier, there is the void. Within the void, there's the hub. The hub is the personal space for a living victory that has matching identity.
Within Undertale, that's basically the loading, the title screen,
Yeah, menu,
game.
title.
and also the place where the final battle with Flowey happens in a normal route.
Mm.
It was called Flowey's World, if you ever loaded the game there.
Yeah.
We call it a hub. Basically, every person who can time travel has their own little space, like that. As where Frist gets those statues of the other people animated or not.
And the music,
Yeah, the music.
the cute little music plays in the background.
Basically, the place where time doesn't move. Outside of time, between resets. That's what that place is.
And yeah, and that is where you rest, you strategize, you test.
The space between spaces.
Between timelines, basically.
Yeah.
Between timeline.
Space between the walls.
Alright.
It's like
It's-
hidden room between the walls, yeah.
Alright. Well, there's 2 more questions from the official questions list. Yeah, I think we'll run for about maybe another half an hour, and then we'll wrap up. Because we've already been doing this for 90 minutes and stuff, so.
We're going over our time again, Pasta. Oh, no.
Well, no, like the 90 minutes thing is like the 90 minutes thing is like the thing I want to
know.
get to, but
I know. I'm giving you a hard time, Pasta.
all right.
Because I love you.
Haha.
I love you too, Cupcake. Eh. Okay.
What was
That was a very heartwarming proclamation of love.
All right. What are? All right. So, question for you guys. What are some of your favorite comments that you've gotten?
the mom comment?
What was that?
I know. I know. There's like you've probably gotten plenty of really great comments and stuff, but at least think of some examples if you would.
What was the
one
mom
that-
comment, Sophie?
There is a mother with 2 sons, and they have reading
Oh,
disabilities. Yeah,
that one.
yeah. The elder son, really interested in Golden Quiche, and because of that, he's learning to read.
Oh my god, that is. I can't. Dang.
There's also the comments which go something like, I haven't slept or eaten for a day or two now. I'll keep reading Golden Quiche. And Sophie's like, please eat and sleep responsibly.
Yeah,
Or
then
read
when I
Golden
added the tag,
Isn't that one of the tags now? Like, please remember to eat and sleep.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Like,
Yeah,
that-
few
please,
people
please
like
get
that.
some sleep. Please, yeah, nourish yourself.
Public service announcement: no matter how good the fanfic is, your health comes first.
Yes, the health comes first. I
And then there's people who are like, manage to someone guess where you're heading with the plot.
yeah, those are really good.
Like,
That means they are paying attention.
yeah, it's
It's like,
like,
shh, don't speak
yeah,
loud.
it's like people, like some creators like just get so offended when people like figure out their plot twist or something before the story tells them. It's just like, no, dude, that's good. That means your story is logical and people can figure it out.
We also had some really, really bad comments.
Oh.
There is the one guy who basically told Sophie she was a terrible person for a very specific plot twist.
Oh my god. Oh, it's one of those people.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that one out loud.
Yes,
that
my
plot twist out loud because
favorite
very
kind
well.
of people.
I mean,
I'm looking at it going, Sophie didn't do this, I did.
Yeah, he was the one who suggested it.
I mean, on AO3, all the comics have been really nice and stuff, but I've also posted my story to Amino and everything, and I've got some pretty interesting comments, like
I don't use Amino. All I've heard are stories about Amino, and none of them are good.
yeah, I honestly, I'm thinking about leaving Amino as soon as I like finish posting the current story that I am posting on there, because I'm just like, okay, like most of my friends that were on there are gone, like just went to Tumblr or Instagram or something like that. So and every time and sometimes when I post a story, the only comments I really get are like, wow, that's good and stuff, or wow, that's good and stuff, or other comments that are like commenting on stuff that doesn't even really matter to the story and all that. One time, like an 11-year-old read my story, and I was just like, because I think about this stuff in my story, and I'm just like, you are too young for this.
Yeah, but that's the nature of what I was talking about earlier is, I think Cupcake here is actually on this chapter, if you keep reading. You said chapter 36, the exorcism
Yeah.
arc.
Yes, correct. The exorcism there.
It's one of the biggest major plot twists in the whole story. It's about to come for you. And it traumatized Slack readers.
Oh my
And one reader basically gave us a big giant thread over it. And told us we're terrible people
Oh my god.
for doing that.
Yeah.
And the next one comes after the next major arc, the Mega of any arc. Once that concluded, we had a giant flip out as well.
Wow, that one.
Because the opposite. Because the opposite situation.
Uh-huh.
Because we were too kind on the character this time around. Rather than too mean.
Yeah.
What do you want? We're too harsh, we're too kind. What do you want? Make up your mind.
Yeah. That
I have a perfect image for this.
Oh no.
And that person is really getting up overboard. After the Mega of any happens.
issues. Much issues. They, okay, not necessarily he. Don't know what is up with that guy.
Now I acknowledge we made the character very hateable. On purpose.
Yeah, it was on purpose.
We're trying to reel it in now, and it's like...
Dang it, I can't
Trying
seem
to
to find it.
redemption
Hang
arc,
on, maybe,
but-
maybe I have it saved on my phone.
Apostle, what are you doing?
I'm trying to look up an image that's like perfect for the situation you guys are talking about.
You mean the reaction image?
Yeah. It's actually like super specific for what you guys are talking about, and I can't find it. It's frustrating me.
It happens. Yeah, there's some really bad moments. We saw the one user getting closer and closer to flip out. Because the way they were responding, and we're like, we know how this is going to end, and we're not going to stray from it. And you're not going to like it.
Amino?
Yeah.
What's that?
Don't
It's
do it.
It's a social media app.
It's a drug. Never take it.
Thinking about it now, I'm just like, there was a, thinking about it now, I've been thinking about leaving that place for a while now because I'm just like, is it really worth it? Because, well, for one thing, it's full of people that are, like, younger, like, the average age range is, like,
It's full of children.
Yeah, it is kind of full of children, if I'm being honest, because it's like, for some reason, like, they have pretty strict policies there because of it. Even though I get away with a lot of my stories and people don't seem to notice. Heck, I even got featured a couple times because of it.
I just thought about something. Amino is a type of acid.
Uh-huh. Amino acids, yeah.
It's yeah. And acid can burn you, so just stay away from it.
God dang it.
What?
We apologize to all the amino users on here. I'm sure you're good people. Just that we...
Yeah, I'm not dissing the users. I'm dissing the platform. I want to make that clear.
To expand on what you were saying, a good story needs to be interesting. So you need to occasionally make a divide in your reader base. You need to make decisions that are hard. You need to make a choice that some will dislike and others will really like. You gotta divide them and have some controversy.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're not unique. You're just gonna be drab, normal.
Yeah, otherwise you don't stand out.
Yeah.
And actions have consequences. And sometimes the consequences are not what you think it is.
Yeah.
Like say, I am the bad guy. What is the expected consequences? The hero killed me. That. So what is gonna happen if the hero instead decides to give mercy? Or they just send you for rehab? Or they put you in jail and not forget about you? You know, all these kind of different outcomes can happen. There's more than one way to deal with consequences. And there are people who can't accept that.
I think when we got to the end of the or beginning of the exorcism arc, actually, in this case, I just kind of said to Sophie, do it. Just do it.
Yes.
We need to shake this up. Just do it.
I was like, are you sure? Sure.
And what came out of that was, in my opinion, one of the best arcs in Golden Quiche. wherein Papyrus becomes the hero.
Yeah, it's the event that makes Papyrus the hero.
Deserves to be a hero.
Hmm.
I think originally I had that idea, but as a much shorter journey, like one time pass and it works. Then Tim thought that it's like, too easy in a way. It should be more. And he suggested having time loops. That
Yeah,
was
and then we
fun.
got the whole Sansa's backstory, Gastar's backstory, all combining into one.
He discovered it was way possible.
Using the jumpstart his development, yeah. Well, the best arcs thing, and I think that's the first real climax in Golden Quiche, yeah. And after that, the real story begins.
Is it still the best arc compared to all the other arcs we made?
No, I like Crimson Hall, and I like the Butterfly arc.
Because
They
I do
have
not
no
want
meaning,
to. I don't want people to think that only that point is good. Yeah, there are many bigger points.
The next
but
giant high point would definitely be the Crimson Hall. And for me personally, I like the Butterfly Effect arc.
Yes, butterfly effect.
And yeah, the conclusion to Megalovania is a bit more controversial. But the current one is really nice too. And the smaller
Kaiju
ones in
arc.
between. Yeah, the Kaiju arc.
Kaiju.
Yeah, bruh. Da 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 da.
He
Yeah.
sound something?
No, I think it's a Godzilla
Yeah, it's
sound
got.
or something.
Yeah, it's the Godzilla theme. Oh yes, yes. I found the image. Yes.
How long
So,
did that take
one of the-
you?
Forever. He time traveled, I'm pretty sure.
Rules. It is my AU and I do what I want.
Just show that to every person that tries to like backseat write the story or something like that. It's my AU and I'll do what I want. I'm making this for free, you sons of bitches.
Pasta microphone.
Yeah.
Also, language.
It's bitches PG-13.
I'm still mad at you for saying it.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Alright,
Yeah, one of the prevalent themes or phrases used in the story is anime is real.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anime is real.
You know, I actually told Undyne anime is real, not because like I didn't want to hurt her feelings and such, which I didn't. I didn't want to hurt her feelings. I was just like, I just looked at her and thought of all the crazy stuff that has happened in the game and everything, and I'm just like, fish lady, if you exist, anime is real.
She is anime.
Yeah, she is
Yeah.
the anime. I have become
Honestly.
the anime.
And Golden Quiche
Yeah.
proves it time and time again, especially with Undyne. All her chapters are like that.
You know, Undyne herself at one point said, I have enough anime. Can we go back to normal life now? I have enough anime in this 1 month for a lifetime.
Can we?
Real, so it's
Can we not have an epic battle like every other week?
Can we just calm down for a moment?
It's like that one scene in The Incredibles. Like, I just cleaned up this mess. Can we just keep it clean for 10 minutes?
Yeah, that's really it.
That is really it.
Undyne never change.
That's been everything from like chapter 100 onward has been anime is real.
Mhm.
In
All
a
those crazy
way,
arcs.
yeah, in a way, it is like the result of having magic and people
Yeah.
sciencing that magic. One of the things we want to say is about anime. Anime was very much inspired by World War II. The kind of
Well,
huge
Godzilla
scale
definitely.
destruction. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the kind of instantaneous, huge scale destruction.
Uncommon like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was real. We may make jokes about how exaggerated everything is, but at one point, that was real. And that was World War II.
Mm-hmm. I think that's what you're saying as well. Also, that this on the Discord that in Golden Quiche verse we still have to deal with World War II and whatnot. So things like nuclear fallout would have been time travel avoided.
Mm.
We had an idea that 1984, you know, the book was once real, and then it was time travel backward, retcon, and the only memory of it left is in the book.
Like after World War II, there was a giant nuclear war, everything got wiped out, time reset, and nobody remembers this. Things like that are in the background of the story.
Interesting.
We don't really touch upon it, but another isekai maybe, but
It's probably not really there yet. We haven't get a chance to talk to the Grandmaster, the guy who remembers everything.
of course, Messel's grandfather.
That one is another story.
Ye-
That
That's
moment when you realize you've written a 700k password in a few weeks past. Yes.
Yeah, you don't want to see the official timeline. It's like we've been stuck on the same day for a while now.
Okay. Sorry, what do you want to say earlier? Before I read that question out.
I was saying the official timeline is like stuck in the same day for a while now.
Oh yeah, yeah, no, that's right. We have been stuck. Same
Uh,
day.
My story takes place over like a whole basically the first story in my AU just takes place over like 2-3 days, and the next story I have just takes place over a summer vacation, pretty much.
What you see with stories is that usually you have more time skips in the beginning. And then
Yeah.
when you get forward, it's like the pace slows down. It's like more scenes, more words required for the same day.
Yeah, just I would like to see like a whole like big grand. Now I just kind of want to see a whole big grand AU and stuff where all this epic and amazing stuff happens to all these characters, and it's like over just one day. That'd be interesting. And it's like at the end of the story, it's just like all that happened in one day. What's the rest of our lives gonna be like? Who knows, but certainly won't be boring.
It was the longest day of our lives.
Yeah, it almost felt like it was like 2 years for like the person writing this or something.
I mean, there was a TV series like that. It's called
Yeah.
24 Hours.
The entirety of Golden Quiche takes place in a month. Oh my god.
That's not altogether inaccurate, yeah.
I mean, there was so much time passed, like just in the first chapter, that they gotta make up for that.
The first chapter definitely takes most amount of time. Or not. It's basically one day completely reset over and over.
It's-
Oh boy.
Someone else just posted that's just Undertale.
Yeah.
Uh,
I do think we have like one story arc where we just said, oh, we skipped the whole week. We skipped the whole timeline. And nobody knows. Figure this one out later.
Yes, that is right.
Also, at the Deterrent podcast, once the next chapter of the Disappearance of Frist Dreamer coming out. God dang it, guys!
Foster, it's your own fault. You keep mentioning it.
I mentioned it once because they mentioned it, and now they won't stop. Okay, and I just posted the newest chapter for that story literally yesterday.
He just posted one yesterday, guys. Give him a chance. Calm down.
I did say yesterday.
I mean, they do have. In all fairness, they do have some right to be a little bit mad because, like, last time I posted a chapter, like the chapter before this one, I said, "Hey guys, I'm sorry this took a while. I swear it won't happen again." And the chapter I just posted like took me like about over a month and a half to write, so they have every right to be suspicious that my thing won't come out in a timely fashion, but I swear I'm gonna try and aim for like just 2 weeks from now when I post the next chapter.
Esper, calm down. Take a deep breath. Drink some water.
So I was saying, we had like a one arc leading up to the Crimson Hall, where we just decided, okay, we're gonna have a timeline here, and we're not gonna show it.
Yeah.
Nobody
That was
knows what
fun.
happens, except like 2 characters, and then up to 42 characters. So suddenly a lot of mystery was put in the story, and it was part of that was unraveling that, and everything came into a big giant climax at the Crimson Hall, where all the truth was revealed of what we skipped.
Yep.
But that's where planning really pays off.
We plan this ahead, and then it's like, all right, this is what happened before. Nobody's gonna remember it.
Yeah, interesting. Alright.
Sometimes we have timelines that just never happen, but we'll show them anyway.
Yeah.
At least to a
Alright.
certain point.
We just got a couple more minutes left, and we got one more official question.
Alright.
People in the stream chat.
YouTube and Twitch. Write down your questions
write down your final
now.
questions and
Yes.
stuff now. So, yeah, but the last official question is this is about character interactions, which you guys have been talking about at least some during this a little stream and everything. What is your favorite? Which character? Which character interactions do you like to write most?
します。
I'm sure, like,
Speak
I'm
up.
sure,
Like,
like, you
speak
could
up.
just say just writing anything with papyrus and people would be happy, but
I mean, I have
I
to
think
think.
that's the answer. I do like editing and stuff because it just means I can not edit.
it's your fault.
well, it's
yes,
fun when characters go ham.
But it's so hard to say because I got so many combinations. I'm like, my head, I can't figure out which one to pick. Frist had very fun moments. Sans had fun moments. Papyrus with Mezzle time is always something really special. Because you have this guy who is 50 years old, in reality probably 100 plus in terms of memories because of all the time travel, and he's realistically cynical. Sometimes, at one point he was too cynical, and then he became less cynical because of Papyrus. Papyrus is the person who opened up his world, okay? And is actively still trying to help him. So, how do I say this? Writing Papyrus challenges my own worldview. Because I would be forced to think and hope like him instead of taking the most quote unquote realistic cynical route. And you know what? Sometimes it just takes somebody who thinks differently, who says like, no, life doesn't have to be like this. And I am going to play a part in making sure that life doesn't happen like that. I mean, for example, Flowey is kill or be killed. Okay? And he would just play the part of not doing the killing. And doing that possibly opens roads.
Live and let live.
And he I think the sun was the opposite of papyrus in a way. It is the
Except
more
for one
conventional
character.
route. In general, the tone of the story is becoming jaded by one of the things happening to you.
That's a bad pun, Sophie. You know it.
Yes, but they don't know.
Well, with
And-
Jinx and Jade Dragon. But I think that's more character like Papyrus. I'm not to say he's just beacon of hope, but he's so quirky that he's fun.
Also that the way he thinks, you have to think the way he thinks, and you can have things that are correct, but not presented in the most direct way. It is
Because the
presented in a silly way.
worldview of that character is very different than everybody else in the setting. And therefore he really challenges every other character into interacting with him. And the same goes for Papyrus and Undertale, I think.
It's both ways. He has to deal with the reality of people not thinking like him, and the reality that people do make bad choices. He can't stop people from making bad choices, but he can encourage them to make better choices. That kind of thing, you know?
I don't think Papyrus is perfect either. Especially on the games and not in GQ either. He's got a heart of gold.
Mm-hmm.
And what I was going to add, from an editing perspective at least,
Yeah.
regarding which characters are the most fun to work with, is when you have characters like Papyrus or Lucidia or Gaelic with very different speech patterns, all in the same scene. So at some point it's like, I don't even care about editing this, I'm fine with it, just roll with it. Because everybody really is like themselves. They're all unique characters. Which makes it a lot easier to deal with. And Papyrus speaks in all caps. Lucidia tends to go robotic, and Gaelic, well, Sophie, how would you describe it? That accent of his?
Originally, I had the idea of Scottish, Australian, that kind of speech, that kind of accent, slang. And then as I progressed, I realized that he sounded like a Dark Souls character. He speaks in a really archaic manner.
Most of the is like, I'm fine with this, his speech, whatever. Nobody understands it.
Yeah, we had really fun times. Like, we get comments that say, I don't understand a thing he says.
Well, now you did it, Frisk.
Frist himself does not understand a thing he says. But
If he's
those
the
who
guy with
are-
your voice, he would be subtitled.
Yeah, he has not just subtitles, he needs translation.
Like, can you even pronounce one of his lines? Just to get an idea there.
Well, unfortunately, I didn't actually bear it on hand.
Well, I'll start with Core Blimey.
Core Blimey is pretty understandable on his own.
Yeah. But every time his I becomes I and such and so on.
He has a few variations of saying I. Sometimes he say I, as in like how normal you and I would say I. Sometimes he say ah, and
master.
sometimes he say I. And there are really specific quirks.
So he comes
of it.
across as some sort of Scottish, Irish, Australian knight. Something like that.
Maybe one line here. He says, "Should ye trust me this much? I did not have a good record. Did not have a good good track record."
It's probably heavier when you read it yourself.
Yeah, it's heavier if you read so.
I think Nixie has a few other questions.
I thought he's saying that he has all the questions.
Definitely does that, yeah.
Okay, here's a question up here. there are many different interpretations on how much time the entirety of Undertale happens. In your mind, how much time did it take?
1 day.
1 day.
24 hours.
Yeah.
What did we say? Was it like a sunrise in the game or sunset?
Sunrise.
Yeah, so basically,
Man,
someone
Frist
said
had
it,
one heck of a
they
day.
got through it and the sunrise happened the next morning, kind of feeling. Basically, they got lost somewhere in the middle of the day on their camping trip, and they only came out of it the next morning. Something like that is how he put it in GQ.
Oh, so
Alright.
It was basically an all-nighter that happened there.
Yeah.
No, all-nighters, no, bad. Get sleep.
What's sleeping in between?
what is this sleep
sleeping.
you speak of,
Staying awake
Cupcake?
again.
I haven't felt it in years.
Of course, it's the entirety of Undertale probably looked a few hundred times. You know how long it actually lasted.
A long time.
It's not just that, because every time they've gone to the surface and then reset for like weeks and months reset. Over and over.
Yes. It's by chunks of weeks, by chunks of months, so it's not just 1 day. It is
Luckily
1
they
day
didn't.
only for Undertale itself.
Luckily, I never went beyond 9 months, otherwise we'd having a bunch of goners in our hands.
Yes, the world is supposed to end in roughly around that time.
Yeah. Alright.
And they had to pick that from happening. Because whatever happened there was a complete aberration.
That's what I said. Luckily, because we can't pause 9 months or so, we don't have babies getting reset and whatnot, because that's another whole ball game of nonsense happening.
Oh, right, the goners. The goners, that one. What does is that they are children whose birth was undone due to time traveling shenanigans.
There's always consequences.
Oh,
Got a
okay.
bit dark.
Yeah. You get pretty dark.
Where's
It is.
Fish Teddy Bear?
But then
Okay.
you
Let's
found someone
squeeze.
papyrus to give
Actually-
some hugs.
I actually have like a bunch of cute stuffed animals like pretty close to me because they're sitting on next to me on my desk. I have like a little Yoshi from Mario, Raichu. Yes, Yoshi from Mario, Raichu from Pokemon, and Retsuko from Gretzko. Just there.
Snuggle. Okay, I found a question. Aldir, question: do you make pasta with passion?
Of course you do.
Termination.
There is no other way you make pasta, and if you,
You throw the noodles into the pot.
especially if you want to make
Um,
a pasta guy.
No, pasta, no.
Pasta, yes.
too much termination into your pasta, it will amalgamate.
It will amalgamate, and that's how I was born. Alphys just dumped some determination onto some spaghetti she was eating, and that's how I.
Ramen.
Oh yeah, ramen.
That's how I was made with a cupcake, so.
And some paint.
Yes.
No, wait, you're a cupcake that paints.
Yeah, that's it.
But also a duck at the same time. Man, you're a weird amalgamate.
Shush.
We had one determination donut.
Determination
That's what
donut.
Oh,
It
what?
could not be eaten.
determination injected donut. It refuses to be eaten.
And then Gaelic ate it.
Don't listen to him, he's an imposter. Oh.
That was a terrible incident when Gaelic ate the Termination donut. He's lucky he refused to be eaten, otherwise he would have melted.
Yes.
Yeah.
Determination. Very day.
Yeah, determination is actually a banned substance. only for authorized authorized people can handle it
I mean,
because it's very dangerous.
I mean, yeah, considering what it did, like, could create life and reset reality.
Yeah, in GQ definitely it's how to break thermodynamics.
Hmm.
Don't do it. Be careful with it.
Someone on Twitch. Yo, that's amazing. Oh, I think it's referring to the goners, right?
Hmm.
I think so. That's referring to that.
Yeah.
Very dark.
Probably.
So yeah, I think we're gonna wrap up now. We're running out.
Any other questions?
Yeah. Any other questions, chat? This is literally the last time you get.
Last chance.
Yeah. This is your last chance to ask this block of tofu and Tim. I don't know. You don't have a cute. You don't have a profile picture that I can make fun of. Like, this is their last chance to. Okay, question. What would you do if you had the same power as Frisk? Oh. I mean, being able to reset and stuff. Well, you need a like little star thing, don't you? To I thought that's
So we could like release the chapter one day now.
Maybe do a lot of learning and planning in the house.
yeah.
There's just never enough time to learn stuff.
I mean, I'd make it. I mean, there is the obvious like get a lottery tickets. All right, I'm gonna load the podcast. Oh boy, Al here.
No. Cheating on tests, unless you really study it yourself, will put you in trouble. Because if you just cheat the questions without actually understanding what it means, then you cannot apply it further down the road. You will be found out.
Yeah.
But lottery tickets is actually a bad idea, because you will be making a major change in your timeline. Your name will be up on the list, and the money goes to you. That is a lot of money.
Bring it
That
hard on
is-
yourself.
Yes, those people who know what is actually going on will target you for it.
Well,
So don't
you
do
could
that.
also, with this power, at least how in GQ, you could change all of reality. You can bring humanity into a world without time, for example. Gets pretty crazy. They can make
You
sure no
really can.
calamities exist, you know?
Yeah.
Also about the whole
Or live in a
cheating
void.
testing. The cheating testing, what happens if you are in a scenario where you are forced to learn something fast and you got no time? Because not only you were cheating the exam, you're also cheating your learning ability.
Just travel back in time, look at Wikipedia and tackle it again.
Well, what if you're in a situation where you can't do that? Where the GQ is full of that. Conflict,
Yeah, that's what I'm
like,
saying.
Also,
It's
like
like-
people are like talking about like 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 to cheat on tests and stuff. That way of cheating and stuff that only works with like multiple choice questions. Like if you have to write an essay, you're screwed.
Oh dear, I'll use my load powers to eat my muffin infinitely.
Or jungle curry. Right, Zoe?
Sorry, what?
Eat the jungle curry instantly.
Oh wow, the jungle curry. Oh, that thing cannot live it down.
Well, we did say else about bowel issues, and one of those things is him liking his jungle curry. Rendang in reality? I think?
Rendang. In reality, it's called rendang. I mean, I renamed it the jungle curry because who's gonna remember rendang? I don't think you can even read it properly. So
Yeah, so the idea is there, he likes it so much, but he can't eat it.
Uh,
Unless he time travels it.
I mean, like
Or-
if you like if we're like actually thinking about this like logically and stuff, like yeah, you could eat the muffin like infinitely, but it wouldn't be like as satisfying as like eating it like eating it all in one go and stuff, like mentally and stuff, because like there is a finality to like eating something and knowing like when you swallow you're not getting it back.
The
Like-
mysteries of life.
Yeah. I would have said to give me more time to draw, but then I realized that I would lose any progress on whatever drawing I was making. So, thinking about this logically, I would not want that power, or I would not, or at least I would not use it like at all, unless I was in, say, a life-threatening situation.
Oh.
But like,
one person.
even if I got sick or sorry, pasta, but even if I got like sick or something, I wouldn't want to try to reset that, because by getting that sickness, that means that I'm less likely to get it in the future because I built up immunities, whereas if I save and load, I don't have that.
Immunity.
Yeah.
Well, that's accepting consequences.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, also, the one thing that would probably be the best thing for the save and load ability is, like, what you guys keep mentioning is, like, learn a bunch of stuff, like, over the course of, like, one day. Like one reset, you, like, read a bunch of history books.
Groundhog Day.
Yeah, one reset, you, like, learn how to play piano and stuff.
Or you know that one actually has a catch-22.
Mm.
Muscle memory.
Oh, flip, you're right.
Manual skills, you need actual muscle. Okay, if it's just in the like math, it's just concept, then you can do that. Accounting is just concept, you can do that. But actual skills like playing a piano, like learning combat, kung fu, fighting, aiming, playing basketball, and blah 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 blah. Your body is not developed to handle those skills. And you might actually hurt yourself doing that.
I'm not sure if the determination memory we included can really hold those amount of information too.
There is a kind of a limit for depending on people. I mean, a smart guy will hold more than a not so smart guy. I mean, we look at Frisk. We have Frisk learning math, but after 1 week or more of not using math, well, right, they're back to square one because they didn't practice.
Same as drawing, I suppose.
Yeah. So, muscle memory is the catch-22.
Yeah. Basically, it's like, yeah, you could like try to become like an epic sword fighter and stuff, but if you're not gonna remember, like your muscles aren't gonna remember like how to swing a sword or anything like that.
Likewise, if it comes to making physical things, you can't time travel those backwards without some unique ability. You write things down, that's not gonna stay. You make art, it's not gonna stay. Because you did it in the future, not in the past. So you lose your work, basically, every time you reset.
Yeah.
Unless you're those people who can build faster by memorization.
Could be.
Uh,
Like Sans.
yeah. Sans did that. He was building faster and faster by memorization because he has already solved the problem in previous systems.
Yeah.
Before we end, I want to make a big shout out. Because the question earlier was, what comments do you really like? I much appreciate the fan art we got from Joe.
Yes, Joe Addock. Awesome.
Yes,
Awesome guy.
he did a lot of GQ pixel arts and stuff, showing different scenes with characters. Even characters he hadn't officially designed, he made a design for it.
Yes, Joe Addock.
So
Which was a huge price. Like, I really appreciate he did that.
So, little thing right quick, before we do end, just, spilling a little bit of tea right here. Okay, so, yesterday, it was announced that, the Honeycast, which was, the podcast that made me really like podcasts and made me want to start making my own one and everything. They're going to be streaming on the 31st and stuff. And I put in a $1 donation for them, and I basically told them, hey, you guys are the reason that I started making a podcast and stuff. And talked about the Determined podcast for the little bit of a chat window that I got. So I did a little bit. If I'm being honest, I did a little bit of advertising where it was just like, yeah, you guys are great. Great, and it's because of you I started the Determined podcast, the Undertale themed Determined podcast and stuff. So,
Trademark.
only $1.99. So yeah, if we get an influx of viewers or I get an influx of subscribers after the 31st, you'll know why. I mean, I probably won't get that much, but still. Hopefully we can make it so that we break double digits without us having to just, like, be in the chat as well. Alright, so, yeah, we're gonna end. So, this has been fun, guys. Been great having you here, Soph and Tim.
Thank you.
Alright.
Thank you.
And for the next episode of the podcast, I'm not sure if we can confirm this yet, but I'm gonna try and get Zaragi on. If not, we might get another guest, or we might just be me, Cupcake, and Viking again. So yeah. If any of you like have any, I don't know, like ways to get to like sort of famous Undertale people, I guess that'd be good. I mean, I don't expect any of you to know like to have like a line right to say like absolute dream or something like that, but yeah. So this has been fun. I hope maybe you guys can come back one day, maybe when me and Cupcake like finish reading Golden Quiche, so we can like ask you a bunch more questions about that, like a big like spoilery podcast type of thing.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that.
So,
Go a lot deeper.
so yeah, this has been fun. Hope all of you have a good night, and everyone stay determined.
Stay
Yeah, bye guys. Bye.